What's going on, Guardians? Today, we're going to dive into something a little bit different for builds. We challenged ourselves to grab an exotic armor piece and an exotic weapon from Xur, build around them, and then see if this off-meta setup could actually survive and perform in in-game content. So I decided to take this into a DUO Grandmaster. This isn't your typical S-tier meta loadout. This is more of a can it work and is it fun kind of build. So if you've ever looked at a random exotic from Xur, and you've ever wondered, could I actually make this viable, or is this any good to begin with? Today, we're gonna put that to the test. So obviously Xur only has one exotic armor piece for the Titan other than the class mark, so we are going with the Actium War Rig. Then we are going to be pairing it with the Fighting Lion. Hawkmoon doesn't feel the best, and we already know Queensbreaker is meta, so we didn't want to bring that in, so Fighting Lion is our choice. I'm not gonna lie, Fighting Lion in PvE is a bold choice. It feels inconsistent, it's quirky, but it can be fun, and that's what this video is all about. Here's how the subclass is gonna be set up. We're gonna be running Glacial Quake on Prismatic Titan for the super, pairing it with a shield throw, because when you land a hit with it, you instantly gain an overshield based on the number of hits you have, so it's extremely helpful for survivability in high level content. For the grenade, we're gonna be going with Glacial Grenade, and we're doing something a little fun here. Basically, we want to throw the grenade to create those crystals and then detonate them with Fighting Lion. Not only is it satisfying, but it helps us manage light and darkness energy for our prismatic so much easier. Now for the aspects, we are going to be using Diamond Lance for a similar reason, for the freeze synergy, and then we're going to be using Knockout for the heal off of melee kills. But basically, we want to freeze stuff with Diamond Lance and then explode them with Fighting Lion just to make it more of a fun build, which it's a fantastic time. If you'd swap out anything, I'd probably swap out Knockout for Dranger's Lash just for more fun and kind of meme setups. Fragments, this is what we're running. Facet of Protection for that 15% reduction to damage when we're surrounded, 32% when you're in your Transcendence. Facet of Balance for melee energy on light rapid kills and grenade energy on darkness rapid kills. Facet of Purpose to gain Frost Armor when we pick up an Overshield. Facet of Dawn, so we get Radiant off of a powered melee hit. And then lastly, Facet of Ruin to increase the size and damage of our Stasis Shatters. So far, it's looking pretty solid on paper, but can it translate into the end game? Let's break down our full loadout. Obviously, the primary, we're using Fighting Lion. It's a little weird. It's a grenade launcher in the primary slot. You can bounce your shots off walls. You can hold the trigger for a delayed detonation. It recently did have a good update where it does have volatile rounds, which is really helpful. But even with that, it still doesn't hit very hard in PvE. And the Catalyst, frankly, it only improves your reload speed. I feel like this could be something that's a little bit better, but hey, we're giving it a shot. And if you defeat a target that has been damaged by a grenade, it will auto reload, which is really nice because then you can just fire multiple shots off in a row, just making it slightly more viable. But being honest, Fighting Lion does need a little bit more love. It feels underwhelming in PvE, but it has a lot of fun factor to it. So I feel like if we could give it a little bit more of a spotlight, I wouldn't mind. Special weapon, we are going with Tenacious Mastery. Of course, it is farmable in Iron Banner right now. It is great for stunning all champions when you have Chill Clip on it. It's always a go-to. Pairing it with Air Trigger reduces the ammo effective nerf basically that it got a while back, so you still have increased ammo reserves with Air Trigger as well. It's a solid gun. Highly recommend go getting one from Iron Banner if you don't already have it. Heavy wise, obviously we have Actium War Rig, so we want to go with a heavy machine gun. We opted to go with our crafted corrective measure. This is where the magic happens. We went full into Void Synergy with destabilizing rounds for our volatile bursts, and we also went with Demoralize, which allows us to weaken nearby targets when we get precision final blows, which pairs extremely well with Actium War Rig. This Season 1 exotic has honestly not really seen a lot of use in recent years. This will steadily reload a portion of our equipped auto rifle or a machine gun from reserves. It also provides a moderate benefit to airborne effectiveness, which doesn't really matter all that much in in-game content. But hey, 30% extra airborne effectiveness, not bad. And it refills 10% of our machine gun basically every 1.5 seconds. So it just helps us keep shooting longer and longer. Furthermore, this synergizes with the time lost origin trait extremely well, which states kills with this weapon will grant bonus super energy, and when our super expires, the weapon's magazine size is doubled for a long duration and reloads from reserves, meaning we are going to have easily 100 plus in our mag very often when we're using Actium War Rig. And it just is going to continue to allow us to shoot our machine gun over and over and over again and not have to worry about reloading or the ammo economy. Plus, corrective measure is just fantastic at ad clear and does some pretty decent DPS as well. Hammerhead is another extremely good option. However, if you want to go with pure DPS, you could easily slot in a rocket or a linear fusion. Now for the artifact mods, of course, we're going to be using Piercing Sidearm to be able to stun barrier champions with our Tenacious Mastery. Then there's Volatile Marksman, so Rapid Void Weapon Precision hits, and Rapid Weapon Final Blows will grant us volatile rounds. But the best mod in here is going to be Legend Incarnate. Weapons with our Time Lost Origin trait, which is our corrective measure, is going to gain bonus damage. These weapons are also overcharged when the modifier is active. Paired with Hold the Line to get increased reload and stability when we're surrounded with our machine gun, and then Final Blows will heal us, just aiding in survivability. And then there's Dielectric, so when we defeat arc debuff targets, it grants Bolt Charge, which we will have a way to do that in a minute. Maligned Harvest, so we rapidly apply Volatile. It will cause our next instance avoid weapon damage to create a weakening burst. Then there's Flashover, so when we gain max Bolt Charge, we also become amplified, and then our lightning bolts deal more damage. Pairing that with Gold from Lead, so when we pick up special ammo, we have a chance to generate heavy ammo as well. Then there's Defibrillating Blast, which lets us become maximum stacks of Bolt Charge when we stun a champion, which just further builds into Flashover and Dielectric. Plus, that arc bolt that can damage targets will also heal you as well. Lastly is Void Flux. So when we defeat a void debuffed target or a weakened target, it will apply volatile to other nearby targets, and powerful targets will increase the radius of that volatile explosion. All of this is going to help us glue together the build and patch the gaps that Fighting Lion leaves behind. For the armor, the goal is survivability, super regen, and orb creation. For our helmet, we're using Dynamo, so when we use our class ability near enemies, we will gain more super energy, then avoid and Stasis Siphon to generate orbs on rapid kills. For the arms, we're running Fastball because we like throwing grenades faster, Momentum Transfer, so when we damage with our grenade, it will decrease our melee cooldown, then a Void Loader so we can reload Fighting Line and our corrective measure a little bit faster. Chest Piece, obviously we want to go with damage resistance mods that are paired with the activity that we are doing. Legs, Recuperation and Better Already both will help us heal on an orb pickup, then Absolution, so we reduce the cooldown of all of our abilities just by picking up an orb of power. Class item, obviously we always want to go with Reaper when possible, so we get orbs just by killing somebody after we use our class ability. Then there's Powerful Attraction to pull orbs in within 12 meters just by casting our barricade. Then Special Ammo Finisher to generate special ammo for us and the full fire team upon using a finisher. So we decided to drop into a Grandmaster as a duo to see if this thing could just survive in general. Final verdict was it worked, but it wasn't the best loadout. I died a few times, no surprise there. Fighting Lion takes finesse, and I am not Epic Defender. I'm not good with it. It feels chaotic in PvE situations. It doesn't pack a punch hard enough, but corrective measure definitely helps doing a lot of the heavy lifting as well as our Glacial Quake. But hey, that was the point. We wanted to kind of push these off-meta picks to their limits and really see if there was anything worth using or just trying out a different build or loadout than the normal go-to meta. So is it worth grabbing something weird from Xur and building around it? Honestly, yeah, it is. Not every build has to be meta. Sometimes the fun is in the challenge, but am I going to run Fighting Lion in every single GM? Absolutely not. It was a fun experiment, and it definitely made us think outside of the box. If you enjoyed this kind of a video where we take something wild from Xur and make a build and see if it's viable in in-game content, feel free to let us know in the comments, and we will do more like this on Titan and even on other classes. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.